Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today we're going to dive into another segment of Americans being Americans. Now, man, living in America, obviously being born and raised in America, growing up here, I've experienced a lot of ignorance. I'm not gonna lie about that. A lot of people have said things to me that have definitely made me question what factory they were raised in, and that factory happens to be the factory of the corporation of the United States of America, where a lot of people just pride and ego takes over uh, intelligence. A lot of the times, people do come delusional, and I'm really trying to dig for the answer here. With some the way some people think, it's like the ego gets so strong that it creates delusion, and people kind of rewrite history and rewrite how they see things. So, with that being said, we're gonna dive in. We're gonna go and hop on Reddit and see the things that Americans are saying. Right here it says leaving U.S. dollar tip in Ireland. Right, so let's see how the Irish or how Europeans feel about that. Right, someone leaving their tip. Let's see. Someone said, I work with tourists in a pretty touristy part of Italy, and I decided to wait until the end of the season to change all the dollars I get. We are at 35 right now. Last year I reached 60. Someone else said it's quite common indeed. Someone else said, laugh out loud, I can't help myself. But every time I see a US dollar at first, I always think it is play money. Someone said it's funny because they call ours monopoly money. Honestly, I'd have no confidence that I was being handed a real note. I wouldn't know. Where are the obvious security features? Okay. I can admit it does seem like play money. I guess I'm just so used to it, but I guess I can see why people feel that way. Um, but I feel like Americans doing that, like leaving tips, is their way of pretty much saying, I don't know. I don't know if it's like being funny or like, hey, this is our love from America. This is save this. I don't know. I would have to talk to one of them and see how they like. Do they feel like maybe that's a gift? Um, which I wouldn't be mad at them for that, I guess. Someone said Europeans saw a guy who was 6 feet tall and said, let's make that 1.89 meters. See how effing stupid you sound? Americans saw water freeze. Nah, man. Like, honestly, I try to avoid the videos in the pictures where people are kind of like calling each other stupid and dumb. Cause I just don't really like that too much. To be honest, like people be going hard on each other. Like it gets ridiculous. Someone said at the airport, America will be lost to the immigrants thanks to Biden and Kamala. Norway, here I come. I don't even know what to say. Um, I don't know what to say to that one. I just a lot of these are just like someone said. I'm wondering if she's going to berate people for not speaking English and measuring everything in the metric system. Um, not to forget she not to forget the taxes she has to pay in Norwegian. Is it Norwegian or Norwegian currency to fund the Social Security? I'm a bit sad to miss all the updates. Popcorn is ready. Someone else said, don't forget to have some thoughts and prayers to hand as well. Okay. Okay. Someone said, don't worry, she'll never get a residency anyway. We don't accept unskilled workers unless they need asylum. It's a harsh world out here, man, in so many different ways. German police's quick reaction to a guy doing a Nazi salute. Literal fascism, laugh out loud, no freedom over there. This is not something to celebrate. The government can just ban anything and disguise it under hate speech. That's a bad precedent on a. Listen, I'm not. I can. My pronunciation right now is not. It's not there right now. I just had some good food. I'm kind of like in a whole nother world. To the Nazi apologists appearing in this thread, you will be banned. Please report any such comments. Thank you for your attention on this matter. So at the end of the day, like no one should be doing anything hateful. My problem with my fellow Americans is freedom of speech shouldn't be a costume, or something to hide your hatred within. Just because you have freedom of speech doesn't mean you should be spreading hatred. I mean, not we live in a diverse place, in a boiling pot. We live in uh, somewhere where there's all type of cultures, and I see a lot of people who fight for the right to just disrespect people in a sense. I think that's stupid. I think that's dumb. I think that shows a lack of intelligence because that's what it seems like. Like people fight to, well, I want to be able to say this. I want to be able to, but it's like ignorant. It's not really like helpful to anything. I mean, or whatever, say what you want to say, but be ready for the repercussions, Like seriously, that's one thing I noticed. Like a lot of people, they just full of hatred, man. Full of, they're dehydrated. They don't use deodorant. They don't have AC. The stores are tiny, and none of the buildings have updated plumbing. What? 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 None of the buildings have updated plumbing. When I visited the U.S., every single hotel we stayed in, including new hotels, had ancient style plumbing, no power showers, anemic water pressure, those 90s twist taps essential. I haven't seen a home building hotel in Europe with those in a decade or more. Everywhere in the UK and Europe has proper modern plumbing. Visit this hotel and go to Buffalo, New York. I forgot the hotel I stayed in, but boy, oh boy, that was the best hotel I ever stayed in. They had some serious updated, amazing stuff that person would probably really love if they're looking for some updated plumbing. Someone said their electricity supply isn't even enough to run an electric kettle. Ooh. Someone else said America, the country where you can sit in a bath of water, throw in a plugged in toaster, and get a slight tingle in your baby toe. Oh my. Do they have toasters? I figured they just microwave the bread like they do water for tea. Oh man, we're getting roasted, guys. To my fellow Americans out there, we are getting roasted so bad. They used to be commonplace, but I have a feeling they're rare now. Americans probably just use air fryers instead. I personally hate air fryers. I don't like them. Someone said, laugh out loud, air fry bread? Come on. The plumbing here might be a bit janky in places, but toasters are toasters. They even sell toasters ovens here. Ooh, yeah. Listen, really, we really getting roasted here. Uh, Pretty bad. I personally, like I said, I don't like air fryers. Damn. I'm just damn. I can't really disagree as far as like electricity and things like because there is always something crazy over here going on. Something always feel like it's not working, or something always feel like it needs to be updated, and you got to end up having to pay more just to get something updated. It's pretty crazy over here. So I'm not gonna argue. I'm not. Let's see what happened here. Whew. You got some crazy ones. I'm kind of just scrolling through. Okay. Someone said, we rode hard for Trump, but the system he built sent my wife packing, deported, gone. Do I regret my vote? Hell yeah, it stings. Would I vote for him again? Bet your boots I would. My kids are crying, heart's breaking, but I'm still all in. Yeah, I actually am looking forward, before I even jump into the comments, I'm looking forward to this person get roasted. That is such a cult like mindset. That person is not a protector, and that's honest. That's pretty disgusting. Um, what the heck? Like really, seriously, bro? That's what we're doing here. Whoa! Someone said he probably was the one who reported her. Oh my! Woo! That comment definitely deserved to be at the top. He probably was. He probably was. Someone said denunciations is actively encouraged. It is a show of loyalty to the leader. Um, Someone said my money is on the kids telling their teacher mum was different. That was probably enough to get her deported. Yeah. Wow. Someone said there never was a wife. Comrade, you have to work on your double think. Someone said the term. Someone replied the term is handmaiden, not wife. Someone said they took my wife, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. These ghouls would sell their own mothers. I don't, listen. I think so. I'm sure. I'm sure. Let me. It's hot in here. Hold on. I'm sure there's been a lot of people who have turned their back on their parents because of politics, recent politics, and everything that went down with the Trump administration and still that's going down. That was sick to me because as a man, men, we're protectors. We're supposed to protect our families. We're supposed to do anything to protect our families. So reading that was like, what? That's like an all time low. That's a cult mentality. You're just a follower. And that's what it seems to be with a lot of people like that. It's like they just want to. It's like a gang. Like they have this like gang mentality of us over everything. We come first. I remember in school hearing someone tell me about this certain gang, the Spanish gang that they were in, and they said that you get to a level where, like when you're getting initiated, where they pretty much tell you if your own mother is burning in a building and one of your fellow gang members is in that same building, and the building's on fire, who would you stop to save first? And if you don't say like your fellow gang member, then you failed the initiation. I mean, it's the same mindset that I see there. With a lot of those guys, like just very cult like. It's very weird. Um, he definitely deserved to get roasted. I mean, it's just strange. I mean, why would you even post something like that? It makes you question, like, is that even real? Someone said using an out of context. Well, hold on, let me go up. Let me go up. So he said, hold on, let me click on this. They put the UK put the fire out and was back before the Americans even started the engine. Using an out of context clip when in reality UK firefighters have their fire hydrants underground, aren't dressed, and don't have pre-measured hose lines on their truck. Imagine pulling up to the emergency and you have no use for 15 effing minutes because you have to get dressed and measure hose lines. Also, Europe doesn't have any natural disasters. Yeah, you guys are real tough, not working through hurricanes, forest fires, or any earthquakes. I don't know why that gave me a headache reading it. I don't like it. It just kind of gave me a headache. I'm not gonna lie. That did something to me reading that. It's like you kind of read the energy just kind of just jumps off the screen and just kind of like, oh yeah. Some of these comments feel like a Monday morning, you know, a busy Monday morning when you don't want to get up. That's the energy of some of these comments. Man, I'm not even gonna. Listen. I know he got roasted. I ain't even gonna. I'm gonna end it there, yeah. I'm gonna end it with that headache of a comment. But yeah, the wildest one to me was that Trump one. That was just. I think that was the fact that you thought that was okay to post. Um, people are followers. America is gangland. Yeah, they throw all the street gangs under the bus, all the youth, all the kids. That's who they use to point the finger at. But the truth is, this whole corporation is gangland. From the police to even in jobs. True, it's true. Even in jobs, the general manager is the leader, of that is that faction right there. Um, their way of giving hits is to go and whisper or go tell the managers under them, oh, you need to fire this person. That's their way of giving hits. But everything out here is like a big gang mentality. So when I look at Trump, Trump was, he worked in the WWE. He knew how to create a persona for people to attach to and look at as a superhero. And he understood the psychology of the American people. So, you know, that cult like thing is very real. Very real. And that after everything I just read, that for some reason is the only one that's in my head. Like, why would, like, what the heck? Okay. Okay. So, with that being said, Ja, I'm off this. I'll be back with more soon. Original link in the description. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Much love, y'all.